with Joey DeCruz, a wide receiver, can stretch the field, get down the field, also the starting cornerback, and just like Ocampo, he's involved with special teams as well.
All right, St. Ray's is coming off a Division II Super Bowl win last year, and they're playing a Division III team. Both teams, of course, would like to come out of the gate with a win, so we wonder about the keys to the game. What about for St. Ray's?
Mistake-free football. Take care of the ball, don't turn it over, and also for Saints, improve it as a unit. Didn't really have a preseason in terms of getting out to scrimmage, had an injury-fun game last week. Can you get better with league play on the horizon?
And for Tolman.
And for Tolman, avoid the penalties that can stall drives, and also to successfully deal with St. Ray's physicality up front. They're the bigger team. Can Tolman match them pound for pound?
All right, this will be game 2 on this field here at Max Reed. We had a game earlier, which is actually delaying a little bit the start of our featured game, and we'll have more on that coming your way when the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals continues, presented by Eric George, DMD, and Associates. We'll be right back. Bruce, so like a minute. Okay. Okay. And welcome back to Max Reed Field in Pawtucket as we await the start of tonight's Friday Night Rivals game. It is the Tolman Tigers against the St. Ray's Saints. A beautiful night for football, little warm as it has been as we take a look at the two coaches for tonight's game. For St. Ray's, there's Mike Sassy. He's in his 26th year of coaching the Saints. Led his team to a Super Bowl win last year. And on the other side for the Tolman Tigers, head coach is Jason DeLawrence. Jason in his 9th year at Tolman. A little bit late getting started because we had a doubleheader here tonight at Max Reed Fields. It was Moses Brown taking on Shea, and Moses Brown, the Division III Super Bowl winner last year, winning that game. So a little bit late getting started. The team's getting warmed up, taking some instruction from the officials. Soon we will have the coin toss, the national anthem, and then we'll be able to bring you the high school football action here at Max Reed Field. There you see the matchup. We've got the coin toss, national anthem, and then our kickoff coming up.
Ready for that. You're going to possibly do that.
It's time for Ocean State Credit Union's Financial Playbook.
So you've decided to continue your education and work towards creating a future for yourself. Congratulations, but now how do you pay for it? Understanding the financial implications of higher education is one of the most important facets of this decision and one that should not be taken lightly. Preparing the proper financial backing is important to long-term success post-graduation, so you need to consider your options. Talking with financial planners, loan officers, or applying for scholarships and other grants are all pieces to affording the education you desire. Make sure you have a solid plan and one that doesn't negatively impact you once you graduate or burden you with debt. If you have any questions or concerns, we have friends here to help.
At Ocean State Credit Union, we understand that each of our members have specific needs for their finances. Experience a credit union with a personal touch. Join Ocean State Credit Union today, where our interest is in you.
Welcome back to Max Reed Field as the players, the captains, out at the midfield for the coin toss, and the coin falls to the turf. And let's see what happens here. Looks like Tolman has the choice.
Make sure he wants to go that way.
It's a slight breeze here. I'm trying to determine which way it's blowing and if that'll be an advantage to either team. The officials for tonight's game: the referee is John Winter, field judge is Tara Pinsky, Bob Miller's the back judge, Christopher Kiley's the lineman, and the umpire is Nick Crudali. Clock operator in the booth with us is Bruce Ginden Sr. So, handshake now for the teams as they head back to their huddles. And we're almost ready for play here at Max Reed Field. We will have the kickoff to tonight's game coming your way when we come back. We are ready for football here at Max Reed Field in Pawtucket. Frank Carpano alongside Brendan McGarr, the sports editor of the Pawtucket Times, Woonsocket Call, and this is the first game of the season for both of these teams. And just to bring you up to date, it is going to be Tolman receiving the ball first. They won the coin toss And we're all looking forward to getting this underway. Our second season of the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates. What can we look forward to tonight, Brendan?
Well, you know, both teams, they're kind of shifting to regular season mode now, Frank. You know, they used the preseason. They had their injury fun games. League play, the one that determines who goes to the playoffs and that goes home, that's next week. This is about maybe ironing out the kinks and playing 4 quarters. That's a new experience for these kids. You know, we mentioned how it's been hot all week. Pawtucket didn't have school yesterday. How they kind of weather the 4 quarters will be another interesting subplot tonight.
Well, you're a good man to have in the booth tonight with these 2 Pawtucket teams, as you've been covering high school sports in Pawtucket for almost 2 decades now.
It's hard to believe, and I can remember my first Tolman Thanksgiving game, and back in 2005, there was snow on the field, and we actually had a city DPW truck stall at the 50-yard line. This was a grass field back then. They put in turf field in the last 10 years, and you were wondering, man, is this game going to start on time? And lo and behold, here we are about 18 years later, and we have a game that did not start on time, but we're finally here and ready to kick this thing off.
Absolutely. Mario Brooks kicking it off right down the middle, and that is picked up at the 25-yard line. Right up the middle goes number 11. And we're going to see St. Ray's Saints on offense for the first time tonight. 16-yard return on that kickoff. A nice crowd on hand here. Second game of a doubleheader here at Max Reed. We had Shea in our first game losing to Moses Brown. That game originally scheduled for last night had to be pushed to today because Pawtucket schools were not in session yesterday due to the heat and there was no after-school activities. So an exciting day here at Max Reed Field, and the reason why we're just a little bit delayed getting started. So a high snap to start, the handoff, and a loose ball bouncing around, and it looks like that's going to be recovered by the Tigers. So Johnny on the spots, that ball kind of loose, and it's going to be Tolman taking over, first down and 10.
Yeah, looked like Aaron Julius on the carry there for the Saints. Ball just popped out of the air, and lo and behold, like you said, Frank, Johnny on the spot, battered once, but right near midfield. Very good field position here for the Tigers as they come out on offense.
Well, that's got to be a big boost to them. They have first down and 10 on the 45-yard line, the Saints' 45-yard line.
In the shotgun for the Tigers with Joe Cruz out to the right. 2 men out left, 2 men out right. Motion man.
Noah Taylor, the quarterback, and we have whistles, and somebody must have jumped. And that penalty will go against Tolman. Back it up.
Well, what was one of our keys during the game, Frank? Avoid penalties, and Tolman, first play of the series, they're backed up 5 yards.
Well, you know, and this is indicative perhaps of the first game of the season. Things are a little bit sloppy, as we saw with the Saints and the fumble on their first play, and now a penalty here for Tolman. So right back at midfield, first down and 15 now. Man in motion, Taylor with a handoff around the left side, trying to find some room, and no go. And there's going to be a loss on the play for the Tigers. They'll back it up another 5 yards, and it'll be second down. So guy who's pretty excited there was Kamari Brown, number 66. Take another look at this.
Two-time All-State lineman who moved to linebacker this year, Frank, and looked like not the biggest kid out there, but he had a head of steam and was able to get in the backfield very quickly here, creating a second and long for the Tigers.
All right, back to pass now and off in the flats. Pass reeled in, and then picking up a few yards on that play was number 3, Josiah Letrin, junior wide receiver for the Tolman Tigers.
It's like a little no huddle here for the Tigers.
Yeah, quickly to the line of scrimmage. That ball now inside of the St. Ray's territory on the 49-yard line. Back to pass from the shotgun and then tucking it in. The quarterback tackled from behind, but not before picking up a few yards. Noah Taylor, the junior quarterback, with the run there.
That was Ian Bing in hot pursuit for the Saints. Sackmaster a year ago, Frank, had 15.5, which according to head coach Mike Sassy is the unofficial program record for a single season. Benefited from playing alongside Moses Muse, who all-stater, committed to URI, and his experience his freshman year down in Kingston as we speak. And we should note that the Rams, they're in action tonight down at Meade Stadium.
Well, as Tolman gets ready to punt this one away, a flag flies. We'll wait for the official call from the officials here. Offside. So actually this one goes against St. Ray's. So now instead of 4th and 9, it'll be 4th and 4. And Tolman wants to try another play here, see if they can come up with another first down. There's a pass to nobody. Looks like a broken play there. And so they'll turn the ball over on downs, and we'll get to see St. Ray's come back up on offense.
Now, I would think, Frank, typically if this was a league game that Tolman would punt the ball away, try to pin St. Rayfield deeper in the territory. But we mentioned this is kind of an extension of the preseason. Maybe to borrow from a college football term, it's week 0 in some regards. So, can't fault the Tigers for trying to be aggressive there and see if they can convert on 4th down.
St. Rayfield will start on their own 39-yard line.
All right, 1st and 10. For the Saints here, who turned it over on their first offensive play a few minutes ago. Let's see what happens here from the shotgun. There's a handoff that goes to Kenny Jakes and picks up a couple of yards. Third member of our crew, Ben DeCastro, is with us again this year. Ben, take it away.
Frank, it is great to see you and Brendan here in Pawtucket, and welcome back to Season 2 of Friday Night Rivals. Let's talk a little bit about the weather, because that's a huge factor. We've had a little bit of a heat wave. It was about 79 degrees, but it feels like 85. The humidity is not going away, although there is a bit of a breeze that could affect the game. We'll be watching for that. The ground conditions are awesome here, and let me tell you something. The student section, very loud right over there. Looks like we got a lot of fans over there. Oh, there they are right there. Frank and Brendan, will send it back up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Ben, as we see a pretty raucous crowd there for the St. Ray's Saints. Nice crowd on hand for a beautiful night to watch a football game. Not so sure about what it's like to play out there, especially as we get later into this game. So that second down play was an incomplete pass to the sideline, and we'll see what the Saints come up with here on 3rd down and about 6. Wolf gets tied up and brought down for a big loss, fumbles, but I think that's going to be after he hits the turf. So either way, it's going to be 4th down here for the Saints.
Yeah, just great penetration by the Saints, by Tolman that time, and Danny Wolf had nowhere to go and quickly dropped. We should mention that the Saints line, other than Kamari Brown, breaking in all new players this season, and you saw right there, still trying to get used to each other.
Looked like Mario Brooks. Tolman was one of the first guys in there to tackle the quarterback. And now the sore spots for the Saints, the kicking game. But I tell you what, that punt looks really good. Fair catch called for. And Tolman will get another set of offensive downs coming up here as we are in the first quarter of tonight's game. We're going to take a break, 8:16 to go, no score. St. Ray's and Tolman, we're back after this. Welcome back, and the first play of this drive for Tolman produces a Roto-Rooter first down. 12-yard pickup. So quickly Over the ball come the Tolman Tigers.
Little inside hitch and go by Joey DeCruz that time, one of the players we highlighted at the top of the broadcast.
Handoff now on first down, trying to find some room and busting away for a couple of yards after being caught in the backfield. But no gain on that play. It'll be second down.
Darren Valentine with the carry for the Tigers, moving into a featured role this season after being an understudy a year ago. But great catch and run there by Joey DeCruz to pick up Tolman's first down of the contest.
Second down and 10 now. Ball on the 47. There's a handoff, trying to find some room. Now cutting back and going nowhere. That's going to be a loss of a couple of yards for the Tigers.
Looked like Kamari Brown coming up from the linebacker spot, making a play there. You know, another key point that we talked about at the top was how Tolman was going to deal with the physicality of the Saints, and seen two straight running plays here that the advantage decidedly belonging to St. Raphael.
Third down and 10 from the shotgun. Back to pass. Stepping into the pocket and then knocked down as Ian Bing steps in from behind the quarterback and drops him down.
Looked like he came untouched that time, Frank, and we mentioned loss of 5 yards on that play, but what started as a promising drive for Tolman went backwards quickly in a hurry as Bing able to get to the quarterback, bring him down, and on comes the punting unit for the Tigers.
Well, these two schools, last year Tolman had a lot of young kids, so they've got some players now who have some additional experience. But by the same token, St. Ray's lost quite a few guys, starters on either side of the ball. And there's offside. It's looked like one of the St. Ray's kids jumped offside.
Should still remain fourth down.
Yeah, we got a long way to go for a first down.
Mike Sassy talking about his team to play mistake-free and be careful of the count.
On a fourth down and 10 to go for the Tigers. The punt unit will stay out. Return for the Saints.
So good breeze here. Would appear that Tolman is kicking into the wind. It's a high snap, get it away. Good job getting it away as the ball hangs and then takes a good Tolman bounce down inside the 20-yard line, and they'll wait and they'll down it at the 15, and that's where St. Ray's will take over first and 10.
Damian Campo, the St. Raphael senior, wisely kind of letting that ball go, and then like you mentioned, Frank, maybe the little misdirection with the wind there. Maybe played something with the had a factor in that decision.
Well, it's a good rush there by St. Ray's. Didn't get to the punter and got it away, and got away a good one. All right, Daniel Wolf now. A handoff to the left side, looking for some room.
Looks like we have a new quarterback there for St. Raphael, number 2. Tyshad Brown, a freshman, threw a touchdown pass last week in the injury fund game. Mike Sassy going with once again with a two-headed quarterback system. El Campo will get the bulk of the reps, but we'll change of pace here with Tyshad Brown beginning this drive.
Coach Sassy saying that a very talented young man, and this is nothing new for him going with two quarterbacks. You know, he was saying before the game that he just likes to bring the younger kids along so that they're ready when their full-time turn comes. There's the pass, completes to Aaron Julius. Great looking pass along the far sideline, and that's going to move the chains for a first down. Roto-Rooter, first down. 20-yard pass.
Yeah, nice touch by Tyshad Brown on that pass, and Aaron Julius, leading ground carrier for the Saints a year ago, coming out of the backfield and maneuvering his way along the sideline to pick up the first down for the Saints.
From their own 35-yard line, looking to find a little room, turning it upfield, but really nowhere to go on that handoff to Damian Ocampo.
Look like number 7, Jaden DeOliveira, who is the defensive player who relays the calls to the rest of his teammates in on that tackle of Ocampo.
Yeah, what do we call Ocampo? A Army Swiss knife, does a little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything except shell popcorn, Frank.
Punt return, kickoff return, kicker, punter. Officially listed as a receiver and the cornerback on defense. Here's Brown looking around, scrambling, and then throws it downfield and just out of the reach of Ocampo. So a lot of poise there for the freshman. Didn't panic at all. Looking for somebody downfield and was probably on the verge of throwing it out of bounds, but did see Campo along the sideline and overshot him.
It's amazing how much high school football has changed in recent memory. You know, who would thought that a freshman would be playing significant snaps, let alone at maybe the most important position in all sports, the quarterback spot.
Well, there's a, as we look down the roster and how many ninth graders, freshmen, there are so many on this roster. Most won't play, but are certainly watching and maybe getting a little bit of experience for their turn when it comes in the years ahead. Out in the flat, there is a pass and trying to inches away for a couple of more yards on that is Jalen Anton.
Jalen Anton moving into the top spot in the X this season for the Saints. Saints don't really utilize a tight end set, so they use a couple X's, and of course, as we mentioned, Damian Ocampo does a little bit of everything and can line up any spot and any time, and the quarterback, regardless who it is, whether it's Wolf or Brown, be looking in his direction.
So 4th down and 5, and they're going to run a play here, and that is off in the flat to Ocampo, and Ocampo breaks away and gets enough yardage for another first down. Take another look at that one, Brendan.
A great inside route there by Ocampo, and it's we might be talking about a freshman here, Frank, but have someone like Ocampo who's experienced in the St. Raphael system, it pays dividends, and we saw it right there on that 4th down call.
Well, quick play here on 1st down, and it's going to lose about a yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 11 for the St. Ray's Saints.
Tried a little quick count that time, but we've seen a little bit of no huddle from each side so far as we tick below 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Deshaun Brown, the quarterback, a freshman, leading the offense, dropping back, looking to pass, and that one falls incomplete. Damian Ocampo was the intended receiver, and he goes down and looks like he is hurt. Hit on that play as that ball sailed over his head.
Yeah, it looked like he took a shot there as we watch a replay of Brown looking over. Tip ball. Looked like it could have been intercepted by Tolman, but Ocampo took a shot and down to the turf right now and being helped off the field. The good news is he's walking off the field on his own power.
Well, certainly an important guy to all phases of the game for St. Raphael. Mike Sassy wants a timeout here with 2:32 to go in the first quarter. And no score, so we have much more coming your way on the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates. We'll be right back.
Credit Union's Friday Night Rivals. Local high school football every Friday night on Charge. Closed captioning sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, the brand you trust since 1928. Offering Nairobi's same-day mattress and upholstery delivery 7 days a week. Ocean State Credit Union.
And welcome back to Max Reed Field in Pawtucket. We've got no score tonight in our Friday Night Rivals game between St. Ray's and Tolman. St. Ray's calling a timeout here with 2:32 to go in the first quarter. Mike Sassy, the head coach. Since 1998, he is the longest tenured coach at one school in Rhode Island. Now, there are other head coaches who have gone from program to program, but Mike, with 26 years under his belt as the head coach of the Saints is the longest tenured coach at one school in Rhode Island. He's won 3 Super Bowls in his head coaching career, been to 7 of them. 14 times St. Ray's has been to the Super Bowl. And did you know that Mike Sassy has been involved in 13 of those games? Some as a player, some as a coach.
And he actually coached in this rivalry back when it was the Thanksgiving edition.
And a throw there on 3rd down is incomplete. It was off the back shoulder of the receiver. Just a little bit underthrown there. But we've got a penalty flag. And we'll see what John Winter has to say here.
Looks like
is he waving it as no penalty? Well, it's going to be
an eligible man downfield for St. Raphael. Looks like Tolman will decline, and we'll be bringing up a 4th and 1.
4th and 11 here on. And this is an original chimney sweep kick. And that one gets away. That'll bounce. No, actually, it's fielded at the 25-yard line. So we'll see as Tolman gets ready to take over on offense here. "35-yard punt. Tolman, they were a playoff team last year, but lost to Moses Brown in the opening round by just 2 points. Moses Brown went on to win the Division III Super Bowl title.
We saw the Quakers a little bit earlier today as part of this unique doubleheader at Max Reed Field.
And we've got a whistle as that ball is snapped, as a penalty flag comes from the backfield.
Looks like a false start there on Tolman.
No, back it up 5 yards, be 1st down and 15. Jason DeLawrence, the head coach of Tolman, said his kids really grew up a lot last year and really kind of know what to expect in these games, and that see how much of a benefit that is in this season opening game against St. Ray's. And there's the quarterback getting sacked and more loss of yardage for Tolman.
Yeah, it looks like Ian Bing once again. Maybe we'll start calling him the Lawrence Taylor in the Interscholastic League, coming off a 15.5 sack season, dropping the Tolman quarterback for his 2nd sack of this quarter. Loss of 7 yards on that play, bringing it up a 2nd and long.
Noah Taylor takes the snap, and then the ball bouncing around, and finally Tolman able to recoup it. Falling on top of that was Mariano Lopez, so could have been a disaster so deep in their own zone, but unfortunately St. Ray's not able to take advantage here as we take a look at that again. And quarterback couldn't pick it up, and then unfortunately gave it a little kick.
Looked like it went through the legs of a St. Raphael football player.
3rd down and long now. Wolf, handoff, and up and over the 15-yard line. And it'll be 4th down now, very deep in Tolman territory. We wind down the final minute of play here in the 1st quarter. Still no score. You a little surprised by that?
Yes and no, Frank. I think, like we said, these teams are still kind of in the early stages of the season in terms of game reps. We mentioned that some of them did scrimmages, joint practices, had a 2-quarter injury fund last week, but they're still trying to get used to the game speed, and wonder how much the heat is playing a factor in this as well.
Especially as this game goes on. So Joe DeCruz with the kick. Good hang time on that one and a nice little bounce, but it's going to be St. Ray's taking over now, 1st and 10.
32-yard punt for Joey DeCruz.
As we look at Mike Sassy, who's speaking with his offense now. He's got 5 former players on his coaching staff.
Daniel Wilson Company with back out for the Saints.
Everybody loves coming back to their alma mater to contribute once they stop playing.
Great sign about, guys from the past trying to pay it forward to the next generation.
Ball on the Tolman 47-yard line. Man in motion and the little flip to Ocampo. Ocampo around the right side finds some room and looks like he picked up enough for a first down.
Well, first, it's great to see Ocampo back out there. He took a nasty hit a couple series ago, but speaks to another facet of his game that the Saints will look to take advantage of, the old jet sweep, as he came in motion and able to get turned off the corner and create a 2nd and short for St. Raphael.
And that little pitch was by quarterback Daniel Wolf, who started the game, gave way to freshman Tashad Brown for a series. It's now once again Wolf who's calling the signals. And first down. Little handoff that goes to Aaron Julius. Julius around the right side gets down to the 35-yard line.
Looked like a 4-yard carry that time for Aaron Julius, last year's leading ground gainer for the Saints, back for his senior year.
Coach Mike Sassy said a little banged up coming into this game. Suffered either in practice or in the injury fund game last week.
They're going to try to limit him more to the offensive side of the ball and try to conserve him a little bit as we get to the end of the first quarter.
That's it, 1 quarter down, 3 to go, still no score in the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates. We're back right after this. All right, welcome back as we are getting ready to start the second quarter of tonight's play between St. Ray's and Tolman. St. Ray's on the 35-yard line of the Tolman Tigers. And back to pass, and now getting chased out of the pocket, running away from the rush and being dropped for a big loss. Tolman Tigers celebrating the sack there. Mariano Lopez, the first to get to the quarterback. Loss of 20 yards on the play. Wow.
Great pursuit that time by the Tigers, as looked like number 6, as we said, Mario Lopez in there to bring him down.
So the first quarter total yards, we had St. Ray's with 32, Tolman with 28, but no scoring in this game so far here between the Division II Super Bowl winners from last year, St. Ray's, and Tolman, a Division III playoff team. So right at midfield, here we go. Second down and long for the Saints. Wolf throws off into the flats and down along the left side, and then knocked out of bounds at about the 40-yard line goes Ocampo.
Third down and long to go for the Saints.
Looked like Ocampo benefited from a little shadowing by Jalen Antoine, drawing the defense just a little bit, that St. Reyes was able to gain some positive yardage after Wolf was taken down for the sack.
So Wolf brings in the play from the sideline. Ball on the left hash mark, 42-yard line. 3rd down and long still for the Saints here. Back to pass, Wolf looking and dropped for a loss. Great job there by the Tolman defense once again.
Yeah, we mentioned at the top about how Tolman was going to deal with the physicality of the Saints, and defensively they've answered the bell here on this drive as once again Tolman able to get the penetration and bring down Wolf.
Looks like number 10, Demario Gonzalez, was one of the first to get in there for the drop. Now 4th down and long. And Ocampo is back, as we mentioned, does a little bit of everything. He likes to kick the ball, and what Coach Mike Sassy says is probably the weakest part of the Saints game at this point. But Ocampo gets a foot into it, end over end. Bounces at the 22-yard line, and everybody's staying away from the hot potato before it is finally downed. So Tolman, the offense, steps back out on the field on this steamy night here at Max Reed Field in Pawtucket. Glad you're with us. So just want to let you know that during the 4th quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Ocean State Credit Union Player of the Game. Ocean State Credit Union, where our interest is in you.
Scoreless here in the second quarter at Max Reed Field. 9 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Noah Taylor and company for the Tigers will bring his offensive back out. 2 receivers out to the right.
From the shotgun. And drop for a loss. There he is. We've said his name a lot. Ian Bing. His 3rd sack.
3rd sack of the game. I mean, we're just about 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Mike Sassy, he wants him to do one thing, rush the quarterback, and he is doing a magnificent job. Once again, coming in untouched. You have to wonder, Tolman, they might have to change up their blocking scheme a little bit and maybe have to double to make sure number 9 in the white jersey doesn't get the clear passes that he has been getting so far.
Wasn't helped there by, wasn't exactly a clean snap. All right, there's a little handoff. And around the left sides and up towards the 20-yard line, but dropped at the 19-yard line is Josiah Letrin. And we also invite you to stay tuned for the Dell's Lemonade halftime report. Dell's Lemonade, that'd be a good thing for right now, huh? As warm as it is here tonight. We will have the Paul Massey Motors, home of the one-prize scholar athlete, participating school administrator interviews, some first half highlights and more. Dell's Lemonade proudly celebrating its 75th anniversary. Glad to have them on the telecast. All right, there's a snap and then a pass over the middle, and that one is reeled in. What a great catch and a first down, reeled in by Joseph Cruz.
Yeah, Ian Bing once again was bearing down on Noah Taylor, able to get the ball up and go to reliable Joey DeCruz, the senior, over the middle, fighting for tough yardage, getting a first down for Tolman, 16 yards on the reception by DeCruz.
On first down now, quick handoff up the left side, battling for yards up over the 40, and then finally dropped. Very little pickup, if at all, for Darren Valentin.
I think we've seen both sides here, Frank. If they, they're going to maybe get any sort of traction getting towards the end zone, might be the passing game that's going to do it, because both defenses have shut down the other one's running game so far.
2nd down and 7 from the Tolman 42-yard line. There's the handoff, up and over the 45, up over midfield. Nice bit of running there through a lot of traffic for Valentin.
First time that we've seen either side with positive yardage like that. Valentin going right up the middle, going this way, going that way, crossing into midfield, picking up another first down for Tolman.
Just inside of St. Ray's territory, Noah Taylor at the controls for Tolman. And there's a pass and almost intercepted. That one overthrown. Was intended for Joe DeCruz.
But that time, Ian Bing, a little bit of blocking, better blocking that time by Tolman, as they were able to keep him away from the quarterback, Noah Taylor, able to get that ball off. But fortunately for Tolman, it did not end up in an interception in St. Ray's favor.
2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Man in motion is Lopez. Takes the pass, trying to find his way to some open space, and no go. Going to be a loss on that play of about 3 yards.
Tried to see if Lopez can make something happen behind the field, as we've seen, at least in a few catches that he's made so far, being in a vertical threat, stretching it. But good job by St. Rayfield that time in hot pursuit and creating a 3rd and long for the Tigers.
Well, I tell you what, as the game goes on, you're going to see a lot of guys bending over, grabbing their knees, as it is a steamy night here in Pawtucket. 3rd down, trying to find room. The quarterback, he does find that room. He's going to pick up some yards, but not enough for a first down, as Noah Taylor making something out of nothing there.
Yeah, promising drive for Tolman, getting a couple of first downs, and nice run by Valentin. Nice pass to DeCruz, two of the top offensive weapons on the team. But St. Rayfield's defense, once again, rising to the occasion and creating a punt situation for Tolman.
So Joe DeCruz will be back to kick this one away. Gets it away cleanly. This ball is bouncing and fielded by Daniel Bala, and he looks for some room along the near sideline and then knocked out of bounds. I'll tell you what, both coaches had the same philosophy with regards to their teams and how they are handling the heat here, and that is drink a lot of water, a lot of fluids, and for both of these teams, the coaches said, starting last night, said drink as much water and different fluids as possible so that you're hydrated, because the last thing you want is to get dehydrated and have all sorts of cramps and not be able to play at your best out there.
I think, too, we saw a little bit of hurry up from each side, but I think they realize not so much as a sportsmanship thing, but we got to preserve these guys for 4 quarters. We're going to take our time getting the play, give them maybe 15, 20 seconds. The good thing about high school football in Rhode Island is that the back judge, he'll raise his hand when it's about 5 seconds to go on the play clock, and not that it's going to go down that far, but it's nice to know, because like you said, Frank, you got to catch your breath, because still 2.5 quarters left in this one, and it's all hands on deck.
Back to pass, now scrambling out of the pocket. Brown, the throw, and reeled in at the 37-yard line by Brendan Cardoza. And that's going to move the chains for a first down.
Well, you kind of see the differences between the freshman Tyshawn Brown and the experienced veteran Danny Wolf. Brown able to make the play with the feet, keep things open, and once again finding a receiver along the sideline.
So poised for a freshman to find his way out of the pocket, not lose sight of his receivers downfield, and then to connect successfully and move the chains. 1st and 10, little handoff and going nowhere. Maybe a loss of a yard on that play. Hey, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we're going to be selecting the Ocean State Credit Union play of the game. So you keep an eye out for that one, Brandon.
Absolutely.
Ocean State's Credit Union, where our interest is in you.
I think we probably have an early candidate for player of the game, Frank, but
like
we said, we still have a long way to go.
Second down and 11. There's a pass in the flats on the left, but plenty of black jerseys there after that pass was reeled in by Jalen Antoine. Pickup of a few yards on the play. It'll be third down coming up here.
You have to wonder too, Frank. We mentioned how we're dealing with a freshman quarterback there in Tyshawn Brown. How does he kind of look, the other guys in the huddle where, you know, where I'm a freshman, I just basically have begun high school. I'm talking to somebody like Damian Ocampo, Kenny Jakes, you know, Aaron Julius. These guys won Super Bowl a year ago, and they're being told what to do by a freshman.
Well, it's working. Whatever it is, you know, you complete a couple of big passes and you all of a sudden have the respect of your teammates. There he is, rolling out to the right, looking, and incomplete. As looking over his shoulder was Kenny Jakes for that pass, a little bit short. So it's going to be fourth down here. This is our first of 8 weeks of Friday Night Rivals coverage. Next week, we're actually headed up to Bryant University for Tiverton at Scituate. The college field for the high school kids. Pretty good story there. We'll have that for you next Friday night at 7 p.m.
Good old Bernie Stadium.
Oh, look. And a fake punt going to be run. And look, a first down and more as Ocampo has it. And he is inside of Tolman territory and brought down about the 26-yard line. How about that?
Well, a little trickery there by the Saints as we've seen the biggest play on either side so far comes on a special teams sequence as 37-yard run for Damian Ocampo.
Well, we shouldn't be surprised because we've said he does a little bit of everything. So
and he faked the Tolman special teams unit pretty much right out of their helmets and shoulder pads, and as a result, St. Raphael offense back on the field. And you wonder now, do you give, because we're playing the who's on the quarterback bandwagon right now, do you go back to the freshman Brown, the ability to keep plays open, or because you are kind of not exactly close to the red zone, do you go with the true, more pocket passer in Danny Wolf?
Well, we are getting closer, and a timeout called as Mike Sassy speaks with his team. And then on the other sideline, there is Jason DeLawrence, who's telling his team what he'd like to see from them, and back out come the Saints. All right, let's head down the sideline. Ben DeCastro, take it away.
All right, hey, Frank and Brendan, you know, we've been talking about the heat here for a little bit. I just talked with the guys over on the Tolman sideline. They are going through a lot more water than they usually do. They're trying to keep these guys as hydrated as possible. You also got to think about the refs. They're on their second game consecutive because with the heat out yesterday, they didn't have school, so the earlier game had to play today instead of playing on the Thursday. So they're really watching these guys, making sure they got the electrolytes in them. And a huge shout out to the Pawtucket Fire Department as well. The Pawtucket Fire Department is here, you know, with all their hydration packs. So everybody's looking out for the student athletes here. Very, very important. Keep everybody hydrated. And Frank and Brendan, just so you're aware, I have been drinking water too. So thank you for your consideration.
All right, thank you very much, Ben. A lot of water being passed around there as the guys taking their time, kind of catching their breath. An important play here for St. Ray's. That ball now on the, what would you say, about 27-yard line?
Look about, yeah, just about inside the 30, probably more to the 20, I'll say about the 28-yard line, Frank.
All right, everybody, there's a million different places where you can catch this telecast here tonight. And one of the, or a couple of them here, you can enjoy our broadcast on Facebook Live, presented by Trattoria Appia Restaurants. Indulge in the familiar experience, the extraordinary. Great place there, make their own pasta. Trattoria Appia. Used to be Zuma.
Zuma, yes, on Federal Hill.
Up on Atwells Avenue. All right, we got a couple of flags on the field as the officials come together to discuss what the scoop is going to be here.
I'm sure that's frustrating, whoever the penalty is going to be after a timeout, and all of a sudden a penalty, and it's going against the Saints, a false start.
John Winter, the referee, with a signal here, and they'll back the Saints up here. Still a
Looks like we're having a stoppage in the action.
All right, let's take a little break here with just under 3 minutes to play in the first half. No score, St. Ray's and Tolman. All right, welcome back. We had to take a little break because there was someone who had a laser in the crowd that were pointing it at the players, and that's not a good thing. So a little announcements. Let everybody know that that's not a good thing.
Order has been restored, and both teams are back out in the field as Saints, after a converting on a punt attempt, thanks to Damien Ocampo, begins 1st and 15.
Oh, and there's the pass that was in and out of the fingertips there of Aaron Julius.
Should mention Tyshawn Brown is the freshman back out quarterbacking for the Saints.
They have a feeder program in Pawtucket, or a lot of these kids must come out of a feeder program, because to have that type of poise in a freshman quarterback, he must have had some Pop Warner or.
I know that there are a few Pop Warner programs in Pawtucket. You know, actually, if you look at the baseball field behind us, there's a youth group down there. Could be either future Saints or future Raiders or even future Tigers. But Donington Braves, Fair and Lord Cardinals, those are some among the good feeder football programs in the city.
Well, there's a completed pass from the freshman Brown to Ocampo. And pickup of about 8 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 9 now. Clock continues to roll. Let's see if we get a play in here before the 2-minute warning.
Third down and 9 to go.
All right, 3rd down and 9. Brown back to pass, looking downfield, lets it fly, and catching up to it for the touchdown. Jalen Anton had to wait for that, jump for it, and he reels it in for 6 points.
Great throw there by Tyshawn Brown, and going down the far sideline, looking that direction. Jalen Antoine hit in stride, hits pay dirt. The Saints are the first team on the scoreboard, taking advantage of the fake punt by Ocampo.
There it is, an Atlantis Comfort Systems touchdown. What a nice catch. Right in the breadbasket. So we'll see. The kicking game is not one of the strengths of this St. Ray's team. See if they are going to go for 2 here, as the Tolman Tigers are called over to speak to one of their coaches. And they must have called a timeout here, or do we have a timeout here?
Yeah, we do have a St. Raphael timeout, as watching Jason DeLawrence, the head coach, looking things over on the iPad.
There's another look at that pass from our end zone camera. What a nice catch. Nice throw, nice catch. Good pursuit there by the Tolman Tigers, but couldn't catch up to that pass that was reeled in by Jalen Antoine, who's the top receiving threats for the St. Ray's Saints.
I should mention that Tolman still has all 3 timeouts left in the first half, as St. Ray's now down to 1.
All right, here we go. 2-point conversion. That ball, the snap.
Went to Kenny Jakes that time, direct snap to him, and he took care of the rest.
All right, so another couple of points on the boards. 8-0 St. Ray's leading Tolman. We're back after this. And welcome back. St. Ray's going up in this game by a score of 8-0 here late in the second quarter. Shad Brown, 28-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Antone. Great looking play. Highlight I'm sure you'll see tonight on NBC 10, and those Saints fans rewarded for their loyalty. They look like they're having a good time tonight.
A lot of purple in the crowd.
Back on the field for the ensuing kickoff. 1 minute, 57 seconds remaining in the first.
Ocampo, a little kick, the 32-yard line. It's fielded and back up to about the 38-yard line before that return is ended by Ian Bing, who's done so well on defense tonight and also doing it on special teams. So we'll see what the Tolman Tigers can do with less than 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Little 2-minute drill here if you're Tolman. Good situation for them. Another benefit of these preseason games, so to speak, week 0 as we called it in high school football. Division II team to go against Division III. What can you do after the other team scores and less than 2 minutes to go before halftime?
First down, back to pass, and almost intercepted. Right on the edge of his fingertips. Bradley DeBronzo almost had the interception.
Yeah, Bradley read that play correctly that time and tipped the ball, but luckily for Tolman, fell incomplete, bringing up a second down.
Second down and 10. Noah Taylor from the shotgun takes the snap, looks to throw over the middle and intercepted. Picked off there at the 40-yard line and run back. And that was
Kamari Brown, number 66. We highlighted him at the top. One of the key linemen back from last year's team. Played with his hand on the ground last year. And right there.
Two-time All-State.
Right in the breadbasket there. And very nimble for a big man right there. And able to pick up some yardage, diving inside the 25-yard line. Very good field position as the Saints will look to tack on to this 8-0 lead heading into the halftime.
Well, maybe giving his coach Mike Sassy some ideas. He can run with that football. All right, now all of a sudden we have another scoring chance for St. Ray's with 1:37 to go in the first half. There's a snap off to Ocampo. Ocampo turning it up and battling his way for a couple more yards. And that first down play yields about 5 or 6 yards as we jump into the comprehensive community action red zone. Don't drive under the influence.
I believe this is the first time that either team has been in the red zone tonight.
From the shotgun, looking to pass, now getting chased out of the pocket, and there's a fumble, and the ball still loose, and that's going to be recovered by Tolman. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's all about. Daniel Wolf is chased down, the ball loose, and finally, after bouncing around, recovered by Tolman. But the officials want to talk this one over here as we see a couple of penalty flags down.
You wonder if it's like holding against St. Raphael because the ball came loose. Does that mean there was a change of possession?
All right. Holding call against St. Ray's, so they'll decline the penalty, and it will be Tolman football.
Second turnover of the game for St. Raphael, and comes at an inopportune time as they've got into the red zone. Bounced around a couple times there before Tolman was able to get possession of it. So a couple turnovers here inside the final 2 minutes of the first half by either side.
There's the snap, quick little pass to the left side, and then turning it upfield. Picking up a few yards on that play was, let's see, who was that? Number two?
Number two,
Joe DeCruz.
Joey DeCruz. Like a timeout taken by Tolman, their first one of the first half. You can see Kamari Brown squatted down there, trying to catch his breath. He had the interception, probably thinking that was going to pave a way for the Saints to extend their lead, but Tolman had other ideas, able to jar the ball loose from Daniel Wolf, and they got a shot here to maybe get on the board and potentially even tie here with 44 seconds left to go in the first half.
Well, it's just St. Ray's who the only ones to get points on the board here in the second quarter. A 13-play, 75-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 1 second. And then, of course, they added the 2-point conversion for their 8-0 lead. Again, the water coming out. Make sure that all the players are hydrated. So that to be able to go the full 4 quarters here tonight.
Yeah, that's another thing for the first time this season that they're going to be playing beyond halftime. 2 timeouts for Tolman left as clock operator Bruce Ginden makes us aware.
Snap, looking to pass and getting knocked down as the rush came on. Big number, who is that? Number 72. Getting through there, number 70 for St. Ray's.
You know, Ian Bing was in the vicinity and just looked like that time able to drop Tolman quarterback Noah Taylor, creating a 3rd and long. The ball on the 30-yard line. Second timeout of the first half for the Tigers as Mike Sassy and defensive coordinator Nick Landry huddle up with the unit. You can see Ian Bing, number 9, kind of doing a little dance moves right there. He's already got 3 sacks on the night.
Well, just another reminder to stay tuned for the Dell's Lemonade halftime report, where we will have this week's Paul Massey Motors, home of the One Price Scholar athletes, participating school administrator interviews, first half highlights, whole lot more. Dell's Lemonade proudly celebrating its 75th anniversary. We are very proud to once again have Paul Massey Motors as our sponsor of the Scholar Athlete. Each week we'll have 2 Scholar Athlete nominees, one from each participating school, and then at the end of our 8-game season, we'll be selecting 1 nominee to win a $5,000 college scholarship. Back to pass, letting it go downfield and incomplete. So that ball intended for Demario Gonzalez, it falls incomplete. 30 seconds to go in the first half.
An obvious punting situation for Tolman, but once again, a turnover that neither side was able to take advantage of.
So the ball spotted on the 30-yard line as we have this 4th down and 11 play. Joe DeCruz set to punt this one away, and we have penalty flags. That's going to shut this play down for the moment. And a procedural penalty goes against Tolman here.
Back him up 5 yards. Create a potential for a little bit better field position for St. Raphael as they'll be coming back with 1 timeout and inside 30 seconds left to go.
All right, we'll try it again. DeCruz, the senior, gets this one away just barely. That ball high in the air and takes a good Tolman bounce to the 46-yard line where it is downed. And with 20 seconds to go now in the first half, St. Ray's will try and muster a little magic, come up with some more offense here.
You know, just the way that Mike Sassy has his unit, they're not content with maybe taking a knee to get out of here. This is, like we said, an extension of the preseason. Might as well use these precious seconds to work on plays because you never know when you might need them down the line.
Plus, you got so many guys who play both ways. Want to give them a bit of a breather because this is important. If you can put another 6 points on the board. And as we mentioned, it's a really steamy night here. Humidity, it's hot. And you want to give your guys a little bit of a break in these important moments. From the 46-yard line of the Tolman Tigers, St. Ray's on the attack, looking to throw and then getting dropped for a loss is Daniel Wolf. So Tolman coming up with a big defensive play to drop the Saints for a loss.
St. Ray's calls timeout their last one of the first half, and seen quite a few number of sacks here on both sides tonight. I'm sure halftime will be a refreshing break for both squads, a chance to really enjoy that cold water. And you mentioned, Frank, Dells has a sponsor. I wonder how Dells would do tonight, how quickly that would melt on a evening like we've had here in the city of Pawtucket.
Well, certainly a welcome relief, not only for the players, but for the crowd that has gathered here tonight, for the announcers. We'd all appreciate some of that. All right, here we go. 11 seconds to go. The snap, back to pass, little drop off over the middle, and then a pickup looking for room to run. And there goes Aaron Julius. And Julius down inside the 30-yard line. And they'll stop the clock with 2 seconds to go to move the sticks.
See how quickly they are able to clock this.
There's a snap, and they'll spike it. And looks like that time has expired. And that is going to do it as the teams head to either end of the field for a little break here at halftime. 8-0. It is St. Ray's leading Tolman here. Ben DeCastro is down on the field where he's going to chat for a second with the head coach of the St. Ray's Saints, Mike Sassy. We'll wait for Ben to catch up with the coach.
Good. All right, I am here with Coach Mike Sassy of St. Ray's. Coach, it was zeros up until just a couple of minutes ago. You were able to pull off a touchdown and the 2-point conversion. What's going on out there?
Again, it's just we're still not in game shape. Obviously, this weather is wicked, and we're having guys dropping left and right. I'm sure Tolman's dealing with the same thing with the elements. And, you know, it's just kind of fighting through and staying mentally strong because I think we're making mistakes because we're tired.
All right, and what are you going to tell the guys right now as you go take a little bit of a break?
We got a couple adjustments to make. There's not really much to say other than we got some adjustments to make and some guys got to step up.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck in the second half, Coach. We'll send it back up to Frank. And Brendan, there you go. You heard it. The weather, the soup down here, certainly playing a factor.
Thank you very much, Ben, and thank you, Coach Sassy. It is halftime here, 8-0 as St. Ray's leads Tolman, and we have our halftime report coming up on the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George DMD and Associates. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Max Reed Fields here in Pawtucket. St. Ray's, the Saints, 8-0 lead over the Tolman Tigers here at the half. As we begin, the Dell's Lemonade halftime report, proudly celebrating its 75th anniversary. Well, we have scholar athletes to tell you about, and Ben DeCastro is standing by with one. Ben?
It is time for the Scholar Athlete of the Week, presented by Paul Massey. I am here with Jayla Labossiere. Jayla, you're from Tolman High School. What does it mean to receive this? This is awesome.
It feels really great. I feel really proud to be from Tolman and representing my city and my school to receive this award.
So what sports do you play, and how's school going so far this year? Oh, what, 5 days into it?
Yeah, school's going great. I love my classes. I play girls soccer, and I'm on the girls track team.
Well, congratulations from Paul Massey and everybody with Friday Night Rivals. Proud of you. And, of course, you're obviously in the running for the grand scholarship at the end. So we'll send it back to you guys. Thank you so much, Jayla.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Congratulations to Jayla. Each week during our Friday Night Rivals coverage, we have 2 Scholar Athlete nominees, one from each participating school. So Jayla, who is from Tolman, is one of our nominees. And the other nominee from St. Ray's is Rory Sullivan, and Rory is a 3-time All-State athlete, works just as hard in the classroom, holding an impressive 3.6 GPA. So congratulations to Rory and Jayla. Way to stand out as this week's Paul Massey Scholar Athlete of the Week nominees, and best of luck to both of you for the remainder of the school year. All right, coming up, we'll head back down to the sideline. Ben has got a little chat with one of our school administrators when the Dell's Lemonade halftime report continues. We'll be right back.
Now, it's time for the Dell's Lemonade Halftime Report, sponsored by Dell's Lemonade, proudly celebrating its 75th anniversary.
And welcome back to the Dell's Lemonade halftime reports here at Max Reed Field in Pawtucket. St. Ray's, the Saints, with an 8-0 lead over the Tolman Tigers. And Ben DeCastro down on the field with one of our school administrators. Ben, take it away.
In 3, 2. I am here with the athletic director for Pawtucket School Department, the Pawtucket School System, Dino Campapiano. They call you Dino Camp. I think that's a day 1 test. Can you spell your last name? But it's very complex.
It took me to the 4th grade to learn, so it's hard for people, yes.
Well, that's as far as I went in school. How are things going in Pawtucket with the athletics? I mean, you've got a great program here. You've got a lot of incredible athletes.
Yeah, I mean, both of our high schools, I'm very proud of what we have in both our female and male sports. We have great coaches, great athletes, great individuals. So I think, the city is proud of where we're going, and hopefully one day we're going to have one high school, so we're going to join everybody together, and it'll be a great city and great athletics.
Well, when that join happens, that you guys are going to be unstoppable in a lot of divisions. I mean, you have great athletes here in Pawtucket.
I don't want to say unstoppable, but I think we'll be very competitive, and it'll be exciting to see when that finally happens.
What does it mean to have Friday Night Rivals happening here and being part of Pawtucket's school and Pawtucket's sports year?
Well, I mean, I've been around going on my 29th year. To have a rival like Tolman St. Ray's or Tolman Shea St. Ray's, it's a great thing in the city. And, you see by the crowd, it's going to get bigger and bigger as the night goes on. It's a wonderful thing to happen here in the city of Pawtucket.
All right. Well, thank you so much, sir. Wish you all the best. Have a wonderful season.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Ben, and thank you to Dino Campapiano, who's been very helpful in putting together this telecast tonight and giving us a helping hand. All right, we got some highlights of the first half coming your way as the Dells Lemonade halftime report continues right after this. And welcome back to the Dells Lemonade halftime report. Frank Carpano along with Brendan McGarr. And we are halfway through this one. St. Ray's leading Tolman by a score of 8-0. And a bit of a shakedown cruise there in the first half of the first game of the year, Brendan. And we saw some good defense.
Yeah, both sides. Daniel Wolf losing the ball right there and popped out a little bit. Tolman able to recover on that one. And watching now on this one, Ian Bing, and a player we called quite a bit during the first half with 3 sacks, and this might have been the turning point of the game. Damian Ocampo keeping the ball himself on a punt formation, 4th down, bringing it deep into Tolman territory, and capped off the touchdown pass from freshman Tyshad Brown to Jalen Antoine. Beautiful throw, great concentration by Antoine, the lone touchdown in the first half between the Saints and the Tigers.
2-point conversion makes it 8-0. St. Ray's over Tolman. Head back down the field now with Ben DeCastro. Ben?
All right, I am here with Tolman football coach JD. Coach, I mean, it's hard for you and I to breathe out here. We're just standing on the sidelines, although you're quite active. What's going on out there?
I mean, I knew it was going to be a knockdown, drag-out game. St. Ray's got a great team. We got a good team. And we just got to clean up some of our mistakes and hopefully put some scores on the board.
All right, I know you guys have been drinking a lot of water. That's the message you've been pushing all through.
Absolutely. I've been telling them to drink water since yesterday. I said, drink, drink, drink. We don't want nobody cramping up.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. Always great to see you. We'll throw it back up to you, Brendan and Frank. I'm going to come find some water myself.
All right, thank you very much, Coach, and thank you, Ben. And we're getting ready for the second half, third quarter coming your way when we return. And welcome back as we take a look at the cheerleaders for tonight's game and remind you that it's St. Ray's leading Tolman by a score of 8-0 as we get ready to start the third quarter of play here in Pawtucket. It'll be the Saints kicking this one off, and Tolman with a chance to go on offense here and try to get even in this game. All right, here comes the original chimney sweep kickoff. You're safe with us. And lining this one up, Damian Ocampo steps into this one. Little chip shot down at the 32-yard line. And then up over the 40 and to the 45-yard line comes the return. And that is where Tolman will take over 1st and 10.
15-yard return there by the Tigers as they'll get very good field position here on their first possession of the second half.
So quickly to the line of scrimmage here. Ball on the 46-yard line. And we'll see after a little bit of rest if they're going to play fast here to start the third quarter and try and catch the Saints off guard.
Noah Taylor checking things over on his armband before relaying the call.
Man in motion now. Taylor looking to throw it, and it's complete inside of St. Ray's territory and down inside the 40-yard line for a Roto-Rooter first down. Nice pass play there for the Tolman Tigers.
16-yard reception on that play. Man in motion, able to draw the defense just a little bit, creating a one-on-one situation the Tigers able to exploit. No huddle.
Demario Gonzalez, excuse me, with the reception there. 1st and 10. 39-yard line. Little handoff on first down around the right side and trying to stretch this out for a couple more yards. Nice run on the play by Darren Valentin. Interesting how they call plays in from the sideline. It's got to do with numbers and colors. Everybody has the card on their wristband.
Once again, Taylor lined up in the shotgun.
The pass in and out of the hands and a completed pass. And now we've got quite a scrum here. So pick up of a few more yards for the Tolman Tigers. We'll have 3rd down and about 3. Once again, quickly to the line of scrimmage, trying to catch their opponent off guard. The ball on the 32-yard line, 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 to 32-yard line. He's got 2 out to the left, 1 out to the right. H-back in the right, Taylor in the shotgun. He's going to
Taylor hands off, up the middle, flag flies. And good for a first down yardage, but let's see what this flag, it came from the backfield.
Looks like could be holding against Tolman, and it is.
So they're going to bring that one back.
Once again, penalties we've highlighted at the top of our telecast. Can Tolman avoid them? They kind of, lose the momentum of a drive. That would have been a first down play had Tolman not been guilty of the holding infraction, but you go from 3rd and short, possibly a first down, to 3rd and long. Changes the play call considerably.
3rd and 13 now. I'll see what Noah Taylor comes up with. Talk to one of his backfield mates there. See what the play call is. Man in motion. Off in the flats. Completed to Kenny Lopez. Lopez turns it upfield, and he comes up short of first down yardage, but it's going to be 4th down here. Got to believe that they're going to run another play.
Gain of 7 that time for the Tigers, and looks like Jason DeLawrence is going to keep the offense out there.
So 4th and 7. Play comes into the huddle. Everybody looking at their wristbands. Seeing what numbers and colors are called for this play. Fourth down play. And the flat and getting loose and down for a first down. Nice second effort there for the Tigers.
Joey DeCruz going inside route, one-on-one coverage that time, and able to shed a tackle to move the chains there for the Tigers on fourth down.
DeCruz dragging him, about 4 guys in white jerseys with him. And we have a player down. So we're going to take a short break here as he is tended to. The Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals presented by Eric George DMD and Associates continues right after this. Welcome back. Play underway, and the pass along the sideline, and that is a completed pass as Tolman continues to move the ball down. Their best offensive drive of the night. In fact, this is their first time inside the red zone, the comprehensive community action red zone.
Right at the 20-yard line.
Ball at the 20-yard line. Second down and short. Tigers in the red zone. Taylor in the shotgun with Valentin behind him. We'll take a shotgun.
Taylor, little handoff down inside the 20 to the 15, getting loose now, looking for more room, and finally knocked out of bounds after the great run there by Darren Valentin.
We've seen some good sequences in the pass game for the Tigers. Now it's time to unleash Darren Valentin as he's able to avoid a couple tackles there and move this ball close to the 10-yard line, if not inside.
The first and goal here at the 9-yard line.
First down and goal to go for the Tigers.
Saints are trying to sub players, get them in and out. We mentioned not exactly ideal conditions.
Taylor wants to pass, has a man open, and in the end zone for a touchdown. I believe that's Mariano Lopes who reeled it in for the Atlantis Comfort Systems touchdown.
Yeah, just over the top that time. Lopez able to get into the end zone and make the play, and the Tigers taking the opening kickoff here and marching down the field and getting on the scoreboard, and they're a 2-point conversion away from tying this ball game.
Well, they came out reinvigorated here in the second half. Get it into the end zone, and now we're just 2 points away from tying this ball game against the defending Division II Super Bowl champions, St. Ray Saints. So still some discussion on what the play call is here. Head coach Jason DeLawrence calling it in. And here we go.
Nick Landry, the defensive coordinator for Saints, making sure everybody's got their correct assignment.
Looking to pass, wide open, and walking in for the 2-point conversion is Mariano Lopez.
Great play action sequence that time. Taylor faking the handoff, looking over to his favorite target, at least on this drive, Lopez. And we got a brand new ball game here, Frank.
All tied at 8. Here it is again, wide open. All right, we're going to take a break here in the third quarter. We got a ball game. Back right after this. scoring summary? All right, welcome back. And if you're with us just a couple of minutes ago, you saw Tolman finally putting some points on the board here in the third quarter. Noah Taylor, 9-yard touchdown to Mariano Lopez, and then the 2-point conversion. And we are all tied at 8 here in Pawtucket. We appreciate the Tri-County Community Action Agency joining us here. It was a 7-play, 54-yard drive, 4 minutes, 4 seconds, producing the 6 points and then a 2-point conversion. And there you see the score, 7:50 to go here in the third quarter, and all tied at 8. And then a little squib kick that's not going to go the required yardage here.
The excellent field position for the Saints. Trying to see who is going to be coming out for the St. Ray's first series of the second half as the quarterback. We saw 2 quarterbacks in the first half.
Who would you send out?
I go with the experience right now. The Super Bowl quarterback, Daniel Wolf.
Hey,
I would go with him, and but I am wrong here, Frank. We're going with the freshman, Tyshawn Brown.
All right, Mike Sassy, the head coach, keeping us guessing here. Brown comes out. Ball in the 32-yard line. A snap, looking off to his right to pass. Getting chased out of the pocket, still running, looking downfield. Lets it go, and that is incomplete. So it was Brendan Cardoza, the intended receiver on that play, another freshman.
Could be a holding penalty against St. Raphael.
72.
And we'll get the call here, holding against St. Ray's. So they'll back it up here. As Mike Sassy looks over his play sheet, chatting with his quarterback.
Now, the one thing we have not seen from the Saints is switching quarterbacks within the drive. It's usually been either Daniel Wolf from start to finish or the freshman Tyshawn Brown, who should mention that he was the player responsible for throwing the touchdown that led to the lone score that we saw in the first half from either side.
All right, so the ball spotted back now at the 42-yard line. Be first down once again. Brown taking the snap, dropping back, looking downfield, lets it fly, and it is complete! And a touchdown to Damian Ocampo. An Atlantis Comfort Systems touchdown.
Once again, a beautifully thrown ball by Tyshawn Brown, and Damian Ocampo able to take the top off the defense, one-on-one coverage, got some separation, able to stroll into the end zone as the Saints, they respond quickly to retake the lead.
And let's take a look at this one again. Well executed play, the drop back pass, lets it fly. Ocampo settles under it and then runs it into the end zone.
Great clean pocket there for Tyshawn Brown, is able to step into it, throw downfield, and Ocampo putting his hands up at the last second and able to walk in to the end zone.
So you see Ocampo still down in the end zone, and this is something that I think we're going to be seeing a lot of here in the second half as the players cramping up because of the hot weather. There you see another Tolman player here who is down on the field. They're trying to stretch him out.
Right, maybe they should come up here and stretch us out too. You know, broadcast teams, they need attention too.
Well, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be wearing all those pads tonight on this steamy night here in Pawtucket. Ocampo heading to the sideline for a bit of a break, and I'm sure to get some refreshments, drink some water. So just a reminder, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Ocean State Credit Union play of the game. Ocean State Credit Union, where our interest is in you. So keep an eye out for that play of the game that we have to select at the end of this one. I hope you're keeping a little mental notes,
yes,
Brendan, of what we got?
Could be a candidate right there, Frank. And we highlighted Ian Bing defensively. Now all of a sudden we're seeing a little offensive punch by both squads here to start the second half. So maybe a halftime, even though we've seen a couple players go down, dehydration issues, some touchdowns are coming on the board.
And the two-point conversion is good. So that is now, let's see, 16-8 in favor of St. Ray's. So the 42-yard touchdown pass and then the two-point conversion, putting another 8 on the board for the Saints. Nice pass, reeled in by Jalen Antoine. All right, we're going to take a break here. More third quarter action coming your way after this.
Ocean State Credit Union's Friday Night Rivals. Local high school football every Friday night on Charge. Closed captioning sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, the brand you trust since 1928. Offering Nairobi's same-day mattress and upholstery delivery 7 days a week.
And we appreciate everyone at Cardi's for being a part of our Friday Night Rivals coverage for the second straight year. Happy to have them on board and happy to have you with us here on this first of 8 Friday nights of high school football here on the Charge Network, turn210.com, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Also OSN, which is on the Cox cable. So a few different ways for you to catch the games each week. Next week, we're headed to Bryant University, where Scituate is the home team, and they'll take on Tiverton.
You got Scituate, Tiverton in Smithfield.
Yes.
Say that 3 times fast.
Well, here we go with the original chimney sweep kickoff. The guy who scored the touchdown, Ocampo, ready to line this one up. Actually, it's not Ocampo. It's number 52, Logan Gallagher, who's taking over the kicking duties, as Ocampo went to the sideline with cramps after his touchdown catch. So let's see what Tolman can do here. They were able to put some points on the board here in the third quarter a few minutes ago. Sure, that gave them a lot of confidence. But then right back at it, St. Ray's puts another 8 on the board. Now they lead it 16-8.
As they start the this second drive of the second half for Tolman at their own 45-yard line. Once again, pretty good field position for the home team Tigers.
First down and 10 to go for the Tigers.
Ball on the 45, Noah Taylor from the shotgun. The quarterback calls for the ball, hands it off on first down, and almost tripping up after that handoff was number 4, Kenny Lopes, and looks like he is grabbing his calf. A cramp, no doubt.
Yeah, that was definitely a cramp. You could saw that a little awkward landing before number 4, Kenny Lopes, was ready to turn the jets and try to go upfield. A familiar refrain here, Frank, as both teams trying to deal the best they can with the conditions on the field.
Well, we experienced this quite a bit last year as probably the first 4 or 5 weeks of our Friday Night Rivals coverage was warm and the games going longer than they typically do, and that is mainly because of players who have cramps. As you see, both teams now taking a knee, taking some water.
Even the officials are getting a water break too.
Well, we should mention that this officiating crew, this is the second game that they have done. They started here at 4:30 this afternoon for our first game of the afternoon. That was Shea versus Moses Brown. And that was a game that was won by Moses Brown. Final score in that one was Moses Brown 22 and Shea 13. And I tell you what, we're going to take a little break here, get some water, and we'll be back with more of tonight's Friday Night Rivals game. All right, welcome back. We're ready to go. The cramps have been alleviated, and the players now up at the line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line. Tolman now, 2nd down and 10. Man in motion, Valentin, and the pass incomplete. Almost intercepted there, as almost picking that one off as Kamari Brown.
Ian Bing, the junior, once again getting to the Tolman quarterback, Kenny Lopes, uninterrupted, trying to collect his what would have been his 4th sack of the contest.
So 3rd down and 10 now for the Tigers, who hit the road next week. They'll be playing their first road game of the season at Charahoe. Let's see what they've cooked up here for 3rd down. And in motion again, back to pass and whip down. There he is again, Ian Bing with his 4th sack of the evening.
Came off the edge that time, Frank. No one in a Tolman uniform picked him up, and down goes the quarterback, Noah Taylor, for the 4th time tonight, courtesy of Mr. Bing.
There's a little bit of a strut there. Enjoying his evening on the gridiron. Next week, St. Ray's will be home, and they'll play host to East Providence.
As you're alluding to, Frank, league play begins for both teams next week. Actually began for Division IV this weekend.
Joe DeCruz takes the high snap and just gets that one away, and that takes a Tolman bounce down inside of St. Ray's territory and rolling towards the 35 and stopped at the 36-yard line. So 5:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and St. Ray's with an 8-point lead, 16-8.
We should mention our 3rd member of our broadcast team, Ben DeCastro. Brave man wearing the sport jacket down the sideline the first half and going with the polo there in the 2nd half.
All right. There he is. There's Ben. You know, he's always got a lot of class there with the jacket now.
The guns are out for Ben.
He looks like he could use a bottle of water. All right, the freshman quarterback still out there for St. Ray's, Tashad Brown. Quartered himself very well here. First regular season game for him.
Mike Sassy, I guess, going with the hot hand right now.
Playing for the varsity.
And with the freshmen.
Takes the snap, looking at, now he's going to tuck it in and slips and falls at the 34-yard line, so going to be a loss of a couple of yards here.
Looks like he lost his balance that time, as I don't know if it was a design run or not, but we've seen the freshman, Mr. Brown, try to make plays on the fly, throwing on the run.
Brings the play back in. Going to share with his teammates and see where we go here on 2nd down and 12. Three receivers to the right. Drops back, and the pass underthrown by Brown. Looks like Aaron Julius was one of the intended receivers. Brendan Cardoza also there. Now 3rd down.
Big moment here for the freshman quarterback, is facing a 3rd and long, deep, not semi-deep in your own territory, trying to at least flip the field here a little bit.
Well, Mike Sassy told us before the game, he promised that they would be throwing more than running, and it certainly paid dividends for them so far here tonight. And a whistle, and looks like a timeout for Tolman. We want to remind you can also enjoy these broadcasts on our Facebook Live page, presented by Trattoria Appia Restaurant up on Federal Hill in Providence. Indulge in the familiar, experience the extraordinary. Make their own pasta there. They do a great job there on Atwells Avenue. Trattoria Appia. Happy to have them as a part of our team here on the Friday Night Rivals broadcasts.
First.
And a reminder that during the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Ocean State Credit Union Player of the Game. Ocean State Credit Union, where our interest is in you.
First timeout of the second half for Tolman. They'll be down to 2 left with 4:55 left to go in the third quarter.
I have to mention our statistician, Pete Cannell, with a very veteran move here, leaving the doors open so that we get a breeze coming through into the press box here. Very much appreciated.
He's not only giving us great stats, but also making sure that the little air conditioning that we're getting out of this is coming in here in the press box.
All right, we have another flag flown here, and we'll see. We're going to go against Tolman. They're going to march off 5 yards. Probably an offside call here on the Tigers. So 3rd down and 7 now for St. Ray's. Looking to pass. He's one way down the middle and trying to settle underneath that one. It looks like that was Darren Valentin. Valentin's slow to get up.
It looked like, I think, Jalen Antoine that time for St. Raphael.
Jalen Anton, yes.
Similar play we were trying to get to the that led to the touchdown in the first half. Try to drop it in there, but Valentin unable to catch up with it and bring it up a 4th down situation for St. Raphael.
Anton just kept looking over his shoulder, waiting to receive that ball, and it just was a little off target. So it's going to be 4th down now. And the kicker is Logan Gallagher, who's taken over those duties from Damian Ocampo, who went off the field with a cramp after his touchdown catch. There's a kick, little line drive down inside of Tolman territory, down inside the 40 to the 36-yard line, and that's where they'll down it, and Tolman will take over here on offense.
Some young fans in the crowd watching right in front of us, dancing to the music provided by PA announcer Jaden DaCosta.
All right, let's head down the sideline now. Ben DeCastro, take it away.
Thank you so much, Frank. You know, this is game is going to go down as a game of conditions here. We've gone 3 days with extreme heat, the hottest we've had all summer long. We finally hit 90 degrees, and these players is really starting to cramp up. We saw this last year, as you mentioned, but what's happening now is we're starting to get a little bit of a breeze, so that's a little bit of relief. That might have some effect as we play the game out here with some of the, see if they go more with a ground game. Back to you guys.
All right, never let them see you sweat. You're looking nice and cool down there, Ben, but a lot of these players are suffering with the cramps as they continue here. The offense on the field now for Tolman on 1st and 10. Long pass, and looks like that is going to be caught. Nice pass by number 13, Jason Ortiz.
Jason Ortiz, I don't know, he might have got away with going out of bounds, coming back in here. Officials might have missed it, but regardless, great effort by Ortiz. Concentration, able to get it in, cover 22 yards, and just like that, the Tigers, they're in St. Raphael territory.
Wow, and the defender, Onessa Soriano, was right on him. Great catch there. All right, short little snap, and then the run, and down to about the 30-yard line go the Tolman Tigers, making something out of what looked like a disastrous play there, as none other than Darren Valentin with the run after the snap that rolled along the ground.
Yeah, Darren Valentin, somehow that he got the snap and able to go right up the middle. Looked like avoided big Kamari Brown and picking up some extra yards there.
1st down and 10 now, and then the handoff to Valentin going nowhere, as it was big number 78, Darrell Palmer, dragging him down. Oh, here's Valentin again, number 78, just catching right up to him, throwing his arms around him and bringing him down.
You know, basically saying Valentin might have got us on the previous play, but not that time. As once again, the Tigers find themselves in a 2nd and long situation.
All right, 2 wide to the left, 1 wide to the right. Man in motion now. And let's see, the flags fly as we blow this play dead. And that is going to be a penalty going up against Tolman. So drop it back 5 more yards. And again, we harken back to what we said at the beginning of the game about penalties.
Yes, they're drive killers and momentum stallers, whatever you want to say. The Tigers, they've been guilty of a few of those tonight. Just when you thought they had some momentum, with a nice pass play, a nice run, penalty stalls it.
All right, and then the play called dead here. We're going to have a timeout called by Tolman. The Tigers going to take a break here with 2:49 to go in the third quarter. And we'll see what head coach Jason DeLawrence comes up with for his team here in this crucial second down play. Second down and long, but inside of St. Ray's territory. Just a reminder, this is the first of 8 weeks of Friday Night Rivals coverage. Wherever you happen to be seeing our coverage here. And we'll be back right after this.
Ocean State Credit Union's Friday Night Rivals. Local high school football every Friday night on Charge. Closed captioning sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, the brand you trust since 1928. Offering Nairobi's same-day mattress and upholstery delivery 7 days a week.
All right, whether you're watching us on the Charge Network, turn-to-10.com, on our Facebook Live, YouTube page, or OSN, welcome to our week number 1 of Friday Night Rivals high school football coverage. Second down and long for Tolman. They trail at 16-8. Dropping back to pass. Taylor lets it fly, and that one overshoots its targets, and it's going to be third down and long now.
Once again, Taylor under heavy duress, somehow able to get that ball off, and pretty good throw there by the junior quarterback. Just no one home there for the Tigers.
All right, the play called in, as you see Josiah Letrin there, one of the junior wide receivers for this team. Tigers line this one up. Big play from the 39-yard line. There's the pass, and that is intercepted. Yes. No, incomplete. Or is it going by the officials' signal there? Interception for Jalen Antoine.
Yep, Jalen Antoine now has interception to go with his touchdown reception as we take a look at this play. And once again, Ian Bing getting in the face of Tolman quarterback Noah Taylor, and Jalen Antoine shaping up to having a very, very productive night here for the Saints.
So we'll get to see the Saints go back on offense here, see if they can build on their 16-8 lead. And once again, we're curious to see which quarterback comes out. Is it the freshman or the veteran?
I think we're going with the veteran this time, Frank. The Super Bowl winner, Danny Wolf, gets his first action of the second half. Feels like he's gotten his first action in quite a while, because it felt like Tyshawn Brown got a lot of run heading into halftime, and throwing these first 2 series to start the second half for the Saints.
Well, Wolf threw the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. 18 seconds to go, and here he is leading the offense. And Aaron Julius with the ball picks up some yardage. Wolf, now a senior and splitting his time tonight with the freshman signal caller. There you see the replay of Aaron Julius's run. Wolf, the handoff around the right side, and looking for some more running room is Julius, and he fights his way up for another first down.
We didn't call Julius's number quite often in the first half in terms of carries. Mentioned at the top that he was maybe nicked up during the preseason, but appears fresh. Back-to-back carries for him and looking pretty explosive there as he was able to avoid one tackle and drag a couple of Tolman defenders to the ground.
The leading rusher for the St. Ray's Saints last year, doing his thing tonight. First and 10 now. Dan Wolf, man in motion, and the handoff goes to Logan Magris. And let's see, that's maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Yeah, as we have mentioned so many times, heat a factor here tonight. And the players who are in the game are stretching out in between plays as they are over on the sideline here as we look at the Tolman sideline.
Teammate helping teammate there, Frank. Good to see.
Additionally, the players taking a knee when they can to get a couple of extra seconds of rest. 2nd down and 11 now. The pass in the flats goes to Daniel Bala, looking for room, then turns it up and picks up a few yards. And he brings the ball up to almost the 45-yard line. Final minute here of the 3rd quarter. That was Damian Ocampo who was on the receiving end of that, and he heads to the sideline. He had some cramping problems after his touchdown catch a little bit earlier in this quarter. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. So we have 3 quarters down and 1 to go. The Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George DMD and Associates, continues after this. Welcome back. The first play of the 4th quarter is in the books as Kenny Jakes runs it for a 1st down, and that ball now in Tolman territory for the St. Ray's Saints. Welcome back. 16-8, St. Ray's leading Tolman here in the final quarter of this Friday Night Rivals game in Pawtucket at Max Reed Field.
We got a good one here, Frank, to start the season. We mentioned repeatedly throughout the broadcast, the heat definitely a factor, but close one here. Turnovers on both sides, and an impressive display by the freshman quarterback for St. Ray Field, Tyshawn Brown.
Aaron Julius cutting it to the outside for another 1st down. It's a Roto-Rooter 1st down. Call 1-800-GET-ROTO. Ball now on the 35-yard line as the chains move. 1st and 10. Quick snap, and once again it's Julius around the left side. Another 1st down and more as he is finally pushed out of bounds on the far sideline. And he takes it down inside the red zone, the comprehensive community action red zone. Don't drive, under the influence.
We've seen Julius featured here on this drive. Didn't play a ton in the first half, but he's getting carries right now, and where he's fresh and the other players are tied right now, advantage right now belonging to the Saints.
Well, the way the coaches are managing their players' time is maybe the difference in this one here tonight, considering the weather conditions. So 1st and 10. There's the snap. And running the ball, a direct snap to number 14, Kenny Jakes. And Jakes brought down now deeper inside Tolman territory.
Kenny Jakes, another versatile member of the St. Raphael offensive attack, can play anywhere at any point except on the offensive line. A year ago, he was the secondary quarterback to Daniel Wolf, but the Saints, they'll get him going out of the backfield, a little motion, split him out wide, but that time able to carry the ball deep into Tolman territory, creating a 1st and goal.
2 yards to go, and the snap goes right to Julius, and Julius walks it in for the touchdown.
Kind of fitting that Aaron Julius, we called his name quite a bit during this drive, caps it off with a score that helps St. Raphael widen its lead to 22-8.
And Atlantis Comfort Systems touchdown. They got so many different looks, the St. Ray's team. So many different options on how they can run their offense. I got to imagine that, it throws a little confusion into the defense. Who's the quarterback? What's that guy? Who's that guy out there? What's he taking the snap for?
And then all of a sudden, we didn't see Aaron Julius a lot in the first half. He's out there right now. We have to account for him. And, like we both talked to head coach Mike Sassy beforehand, he mentioned that he lost 7 starters on both sides of the ball a year ago. But there are a few constants still on this team, and we're seeing it right now as Julius goes into the end zone, standing up for the 2-point conversion.
All right, put another 2 on the board for St. Ray's as they continue to build their lead, 24-8. With 9:09 to go in this game here tonight against Tolman. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 4th quarter here in Pawtucket. St. Ray's leading Tolman 24-8. And our scoring summary, the Tri-County Community Action Agency scoring summary. It was St. Ray's, Aaron Julius, 5-yard touchdown run, and the 2-point conversion to make it 24-8. Here on the kickoff now. Here come the Tolman Tigers up over the 45 over midfield, and finally knocked down about the 46-yard line. It was a great run back there. Was that Joe DeCruz?
I think it was Joe DeCruz, Frank. And once again, the Tigers, they're going to get excellent field position to begin a drive. They're able to cap it off on the first series to begin the second half. Stalled the last time. Kind of a must-score mode right now here, down 24-8, under 9 minutes to go. 38-yard return that time.
Well, the difference that you see now between now and the first quarter, when players were running out to the huddle and getting right to the line of scrimmage, and now very slowly making their way back into the game as the weather takes its toll on these players, several who have gone down with cramps. Trying to get an extra breather here as now Tolman tries to get back in this one. Final 9 minutes of play. There's the snap, quick pass, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver on that play. And unfortunately, Kenny Lopez couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, it looked like he had room to maybe get something happen, but maybe sometimes the eyes were a little bit quicker than the hands.
And his ears may have played a part too, because there were a couple of defenders who were bearing down on him.
In other words, he was hearing footsteps.
Yes. 2nd down and 10 now. Noah Taylor takes the snap, looks, throws downfield, and intercepted. Intercepted by the Saints. And it is none other than Damian Ocampo.
Damian Ocampo now joins his teammate Jalen Anton in the touchdown reception interception club.
Well, we got a couple of candidates for our player of the game that's coming up later in this quarter.
Could be like,
it's your choice. I just want everybody to know it's your choice.
Pressure's on me. It's kind of like the CD1 primary from the other day,
right.
Frank. It's a lot of candidates.
We don't have that many candidates.
No, we don't, thankfully.
Yeah. There you see the cheerleaders. St. Ray's made it out here tonight. Got the Tolman cheerleaders on this side here, on this side of the sideline. There they are. Always a big part of the presentation of high school football on Friday nights. The cheerleaders, the band, the fans, the players, all goes into a great Friday Night Rivals telecast. All right, here's St. Ray's now on the attack after the interception on their own 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Danny Wolf, the handoff, and that goes to Julius. Julius, and he spins his way into Tolman territory.
A little inside run there by Julius that time. As the Saints, I'm sure that they're part of the game where, still a lot of time left, but they're sitting on a 2-score lead. We're going to milk this clock for all it's worth, and we're going to unleash Mr. Julius.
So maybe we don't see so many passes here by St. Ray's with a 24-8 lead. Late substitution for Tolman. Now they line it up. 2 wide to the left for St. Ray's. Back to pass. And letting it go, and that ball is intercepted. Intercepted at the 30-yard line by number 19. 19, did I have that right for Tolman? Apologize, don't have his name.
See if we can get a replay here to
you have to wonder why you're throwing the ball when you've got the big lead here in the 4th quarter, but letting it fly. Dan Wolf lays it up there, but underthrown to Jalen Anton, and then picked off by the Tigers.
Yeah, you have to wonder why the Saints would want to throw in that situation, but they did, and it goes back to what we've said throughout this broadcast, Frank. It's a preseason game for still in a lot of sense, and you're out to try a few things here that maybe you could possibly use down the line.
Oh, and dragged down is Noah Taylor. He was looking to pass that ball. And who was there? Is that number 78?
Could be Darryl Palmer. He's gotten to the quarterback a couple times himself tonight, not to the high volume that his teammate Ian Bing has, but still disruptive force up front, and goes back to one of the key points that we stressed during the game, how Tolman is going to deal with the physicality, knowing that the Saints are bigger in the trenches than their opponent.
So a loss of 7 yards on the play, 2nd down. And 17 now for Tolman. A full backfield here. And in motion, dropping back to pass, and then looking to run, but no goal. Looks like Matthew Germain dragging down the quarterback, Noah Taylor. And looks like another couple of yards of a loss for the Tigers here.
Usually at this point, when you're down 2 scores here, Frank, you might see a little bit of urgency from the offense, but like we said, the heat's definitely a factor, and Jason DeLawrence is probably playing the long-range game, knowing that, okay, we can maybe try to work on some things right now, use this as more instruction than trying to rush something for a game that is a non-leaguer.
There's a pass and a completion for a few yards, finally getting the offense going in the right direction there, and that pass complete to Josiah Letrin. Fourth down. We'll see what Tolman, who's deep in their own territory. I mean, conventional wisdom says you got to kick it, even though you're down 24-8 with about 5:42 to go in this one.
Tigers going to bring out the punt formation, punt unit. The other group is going to go out right. There's going to be one return man deep alone for the Saints. It'll be number 6. Damian Ocampo in the back.
Kick away, and that one to Ocampo, who has it at the 40, looking around the left side, wants to pick up some yardage, and he gets up over the 45 and brought down at the 47-yard line.
First down and 10 to go, one left to right.
And Ocampo slow to get up again.
He'll definitely sleep well tonight, Frank. Like we mentioned, Swiss Army knife, does a little bit of everything.
All right, we're going to take a little break here. 24-8, St. Ray's leading Tolman. All right, first down and 10 for St. Ray's, and they run it on first down. And that was none other than Aaron Julius with the run. And the clock continues to roll here. 5 minutes to go, 24-8. St. Ray's leading Tolman. Maybe they've learned their lesson here after getting intercepted on their last drive to keep this ball on the ground and keep the clock rolling. Once again, Tashad Brown, freshman quarterback. And it looks like they're taking their time and running the clock down. Are they going to take a penalty here? Let's see.
Well, they're waiting for the back judge to put his arm up, and they're going to call a timeout here, which I believe will be the first one for the Saints in the second half.
Well, very smartly, they took the play clock down to the last second before calling their timeout. All right, so we need to reveal who our player of the game is. And this is the Ocean State Credit Union player of the game. And if I had a drum, I'd give you a drum roll. But what are you thinking, Brendan?
I'm going with Damian Ocampo, the St. Raphael multifaceted dimensional player who caught a touchdown pass, interception, ran some nice balls back on punt returns, involved in every facet of the game, which we were told going in, and certainly lived up to the billing in that regard. All precincts have closed. We're going with Damian Ocampo as our player of the game for week 1 of high school football coverage.
There's his touchdown catch. All right, second down and 9 now for St. Ray's. And running the ball is Josiah Letrin, and very smartly, he was about to be tackled out of bounds. He falls down inbounds, and that keeps the clock rolling. So, not only the player of the game, but I think his touchdown catch is the play of the game. So
it was a momentum changer because Tolman came back, scored on the first drive of the half. We're watching the replay once again. Tashad Brown drops back to pass, and Ocampo able to get behind the defense there for a long touchdown. Great throw, great catch, and there's our player of the game here for tonight's contest.
Well, Kenny Jakes just ran the ball as the clock continues to tick down here. Here's another look at the play of the game. What a sweet throw, a sweet catch by Ocampo. 3:20 to go. Second down and 8. Brown running the offense, wants to pass. Nope, he's going to tuck it in. Still looking, and they'll drag him down for a loss on the play. So chased down by number 6, Mariano Lopez. Takes the sack. Here's Brown looking. At least the initial look was that he wanted to pass and then maybe run to keep that clock rolling.
I'm sure Mike Sassy, when he'll look at the film, breaking things down with his freshman quarterback, saying, okay, you did a great job of winning 1, not 2. But then the third defender comes in, and then you find yourself in deep trouble.
Third down and long now, and there's a pass. And that pass is complete to number 3, Aaron Julius. Julius picks up some yardage, but short of the first down. And a couple of players hitting the turf. No doubt tired after tonight's contest and having to battle the conditions here tonight. A muggy, hot night.
You know, we should mention that St. Raphael, they didn't even have a chance to practice yesterday, with school after school activities being canceled. I believe Tolman tried to go later in the day. It's tough to all of a sudden go from practicing like that. All of a sudden you got to take a break because of the heat and swing back to action. So when we talked about conditioning, it was really paramount that the Saints get back in the swing of things because of missing practice yesterday.
So on fourth down, a run play, and they'll blow the play dead. It was none other than Kenny Jakes who ran that for a first down. So now we can go into victory formation here for the St. Ray's Saints, who will come away on week number 1, a non-conference game, non-division game, maybe I should say, with a 24-8 lead here over St. Ray's. As the clock ticks down, we get closer to 1 minute to go. And we'll see if Tolman is going to call a timeout, or we'll just let this one roll down now. Inside of a minute to play.
1 minute and counting here at Max Reed Field.
And it's going to be a timeout called by St. Ray's. Mike Sassy stepping out onto the field, calling his offense over. You know, some good things to talk about after this one, some things that were not so good, but that's what week 1 of non-division play is all about for both teams. We're going to take a quick break here and be back with the final seconds of this one. Stay with us. And welcome back to Max Reed Field in Pawtucket as St. Raphael Academy Saints 24-8 over Tolman. Final minute. St. Ray's with the ball will be in the, victory formation here. Yep. As the freshman quarterback Jashad Brown, who's done quite well in his first varsity game here tonight, as he shared the quarterbacking duties with the senior Daniel Wolf. Takes a knee. Another knee as the clock now ticks down inside of 30 seconds. So that is going to do it as the St. Ray's Saints come away with an opening week win over Tolman. 24-8 is the final here tonight in Pawtucket. The players now lining up for the handshake line, and When we return, Ben DeCastro will be with the winning team, the coach and the player of the game. When we return with more Friday Night Rivals. All right, welcome back as we have a winner in week 1 of Friday Night Rivals. St. Ray's, the Saints, 24-8 over the Tolman Tigers. Frank Carpano along with Brendan McGarr, statistician Pete Connell, and Ben DeCastro, who is standing by with the winning team. Go ahead, Ben. All right, some technical difficulties there, but certainly a happy group of St. Ray's Saints. We'll be picking up the game-winning trophy for Friday Night Rivals in this week number 1 of our coverage. Yeah, we'd like to take a moment here to thank our wonderful sponsor partners of Friday Night Rivals. Of course, Ocean State Credit Union, Eric George, DMD and Associates, Paul Massey Motors, Dell's Lemonade. Through their contributions to this program, they make these games possible for you to view at home. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsor supporters for their contributions to this 2023 edition of Friday Night Rivals. Roto-Rooter, Trattoria Appia, the original Chimney Sweep, Comprehensive Community Action, Carty's Furniture, Tri-County Community Action, and Atlantis Comfort Systems. And of course, we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools, their administrators, for their continued support. St. Raphael Academy, and of course, our host here, Tolman High School, Dino Campopiano, who is the athletic director for Pawtucket Public Schools, has been such a great help in making this telecast possible for you to view here at home. All right, have we worked out our technical difficulties? I tell you what, let's take a look. Ben is going to hand over the trophy, and we'll see how these guys like to celebrate. All right. Best of luck to them as they get win number 1 of the season in the books. So we thank you very much for watching here tonight. For Brendan McGarr, Pete Connell, Ben DeCastro, our entire crew, I'm Frank Carpano. A reminder, join us again next Friday nights when we're at Bryan University for high school football, Tiverton at Scituate. Again, thanks for watching. You've been watching the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates. Have a good night, everybody.